me adjust the soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test, test. 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation. Lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? To Conway. How about you, old man? Not too bad. Well, we'll take care of that right now. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know. You like to drive around, older man? That's my job. Of course you do. So we were out riding around and passing this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up fast facade. Weeds in the parking lot. Taps all dry. Bats in the barroom. And run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage. And the song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey. We just hope we do her song justice. So here it is, Too Late to Love You. This is so cool. What the heck is going on? This is amazing. Am I supposed to sing that? Oh no. When you left me, I never should have met you. I wish we'd met before. I can't sing it. I'll just read it. Am I supposed to click? Oh, oh, I'm doing it. I'm making the song. That is so cool. Okay, we'll choose the next verse. Okay, I wish I knew that I would have been more selective on the first one. I never thought I'd miss you. What a cool scene, man. I thought that somehow love would find a way. Okay, I was seriously, literally wondering, like, is the roof gonna come back down? Just like seamlessly transfer back. That's crazy. Wow, that's a very cool scene. I like that a lot. Wow. Holy crap, I love, oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. Well, hope you liked it. I've heard, oh no. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Kind of. Listen, we appreciate you folks sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We've just got to get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the zero. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reventual. Wrapped. I guess the usual fee is about right, and we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the... Damn it, I was trying to tell you two I can't pay. They cleaned me out. I've got nothing left but a GD IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit. So I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to keep this place open somehow, god damn it. Watch your language, Harry. Could you pay them with your IOU? Well, very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some papers around. Well, it's just, I can collect on it here when they bring more whiskey up. But for you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, you know, down to the distillery, down to hard times, and, you know, you've got to take the zero. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? Are you folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but people hear things, rumors. It's where we've got to go. Well, I'll tell you then, to Junebug, but this is it, right? We're square? Harry, you're alright. If only. You got a radio in your car? Shannon, yep. Harry, well, here's what you've got to do. Take a left out of the parking lot. And then just fiddle around with your dial until you hear something familiar. Familiar, but strange. You know the feeling? Like, I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer, and I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. And it's even stranger for being so close to familiar. Something like that. You know it when you hear it. Fix that strange but familiar station on your dial. Drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. Right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for eventually. Johnny, always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? Alright, we're driving with our radio on. Whoops. Tune the radio, looking for a station that's familiar but strange. Drive for a while until the station cuts out, then turn around. How do we turn the... Oh, here. This station doesn't quite match the bartender's description. Definitely weird, though. Let's keep scanning. He said we'd know it when we heard it. What's this station? I've never heard this before. Sounds like horses. Horses running. A race? Lisette and Ira had some horses years back. Yeah? I've always been a little afraid of them. They're so big, and I don't know. You look at their eyes, and they're almost human. Like they're human and animal at the same time, since they've been domesticated so long, I guess. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry said we just drive until it cuts out. And then turn around. Hall of the Mountain King. Do we want to drive up there? Or are we looking for the zero? What the? I guess we're gonna go here. Alright, Act 3, Scene 4. Hall of the Mountain King. Homer Johnny Bridge. The bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in despair. Time to cut him loose, ma'am. Well, now I'm having fun. Oh wait, you bored? Nah, it's a slow night anyway. I'm happy just tagging along. We can run again, that's nice. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banisters. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over with a fine dust. Uh-oh. Dust no bueno. Computers. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. Oh, goodness. A pet carrier for a cat or a small dog has been left by the path. A calcified rag wadded in the corner may once have been a blanket. Backpack. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. Amy. Amy. Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. To Shannon. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. To Conway, and you're escorting her, pretending to have her interests at heart, while really... To Junebug. Really? You're in love with the young woman as well. And so you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections, but it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. Shannon, what are you talking about? No, you're right. It's insipid, derivative. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing. Real hot, Bodis ripping stuff, you know? I miss those days in the Lexington studio apartment. Just me and my thesaurus, steaming up the windows. Why'd you stop writing? You know, suddenly it is all computers everywhere you went, and thought it might be able to do something with it. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. Ha! So I went back to the university and I studied human-computer interaction. And then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. In my off hours, I played around with a doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex, and now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow on their own. Too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. A woman in a tattered cardigan looks furtively at the other people around the fire. An old man. Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe with half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Donald, softly. Where the old green river runs, through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. Oh, who are you? Junebug, what's that song? Oh, you've caught a verse of my absent-minded warbling. It's just a song from my youth. Something a dear friend used to sing to herself as we hacked on crystal radios in the boiler room. Singing, in old Kentucky where my love, a lovely home did build for me, and where the old green river runs, through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. I don't know how to read this crap. From there on, it's all meandering rivers and romantic greenery, and that is, what were we talking about? Conway, we're a bit lost, actually. Ah, you came from the road, the zero. No, you should stay off that road. Not safe. Bizarre topography. You'll never get anywhere. It just brings you right back here. Back to this cave? Always back to this spot. It's a prison. An irrational prison. But I don't mind. Not anymore. This is where my life's work is. The computer. Right on the other side of the spire. It looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat up mainframe exhumed from a university basement and left in this cave to rot or to flower. No, it's an ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively and in some pretty experimental ways. Believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but to Shannon, you look like a technology-minded sort of person. Tell me, you know the effects of mold growth on diffused base transistor circuitry. The mold would burn up. Exactly, it burns, and oh, the sweet smoke that issues from it. But it also leaves a sticky residue to seep through the machine, forming new connections and creating new circuits. The computer is no longer the pure domain of language or mathematics, but entropy. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer on this derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings. But we are mere tourists in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels. Boundless and bare, the caves stretch far away. We are too late, always too late. What? Did you say something? You're about to tell us about the software. Oh, the software. My life's work. Xanadu. You heard of it? Perhaps you've read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structures in my article. Literary multitudes, hypertextual narrative as post-structural witness, evolved and then deteriorated. Donald sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. I'm afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted. Then all the charm was broken. You have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin? Ooh. I drive deliveries for a small antique shop and we're closing down. Ah, shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts, and I keep them in there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce. Anyway, far too late to do anything. Andrew. Do you know that when I first... No, I mean, if this cave were larger, could it... Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How would you characterize the space? The one we're standing in now. Kind of spooky, but I'm not scared. Spooky for a baby. I think we'd all agree that's a fair assessment. How could... Wait, let's unpack that for a moment. What makes it spooky? No, how do you know it's spooky, or would be spooky for a baby? The shadows. Sure, that's... But they're not just shadows, right? I mean, they could be. They're projections, or maybe they're anatomies. How's that? Can you tell where we are now? Surrounded by creeping anatomies? Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Okay. Good. Now. You are standing at the top of a rocky peak. A tongue of flame licks the shadowy anatomies of... Where are we? Oh, here again. How disappointing. What are all those computers for? Says Junebug. Computers? Oh, now I remember. I was writing on them. I described a cave. That was my job. Describe the cave. There's a great history of caves in the literature, don't you know? The walls are frozen rivers of orange stone. Isn't that vivid? I had a lot to live up to. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on his project. He said he needed someone with a more analytic mind to do descriptive writing. Someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. Donald warned me it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into the computer. And I put in the hours. Believe me, I put in the hours. I've described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking, writing or exploring. Often, in the dark and lonely moments, I worry that I'm in my sleep. I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? It could only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write. And all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. Check that gate out. We're gonna get to Xanadu here in a minute. A massive gate constructed out of scavenged materials blocks a passage down the far side of the spire. We have to go down there eventually, I'd imagine. Roberta. Roberta, the kingdom is in peril. Roberta laughs. Well, what else is new? Where is the kingdom? Says Ezra. Roberta, you're in the throne room. There are 3 legendary treasures hidden throughout the castle. That will restore these ruins to their former glory. What do they look like? She's messing with you, kid, says Shannon. Roberta laughs. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, a magic steel that protects the bearer's age, a magic chest that's always filled with. I never went to the university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took to the public libraries like a beachcomber. I studied fairy tales, and then I came to work for Donald. I paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics. Scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the firewood into senescence. The kingdom is in peril. Really strange peeps. They sure know how to describe a cave, though. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. Shannon, how do you think we get it started? Junebug, this old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around.